Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 India Edition, where we're now witnessing our brand new train line that now runs along our brand new coastal route, which goes through Karachi all the way down to Chababa right there. It's quite a long line. It goes through a bunch of brand new cities that we never reached before, and this is all from the implementation of that line from Karachi all the way to New Delhi, which New Delhi, looking absolutely glorious, boys. This should go, hopefully, with the change that we've done in the last episode with the road networks and layouts, which means the cargo is so much more efficient, should hopefully start to grow a little bit more. So guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a little bit of a left turn. We're going to go back to a kind of an island that we once worked with previously, and we're going to see if we can transform Sri Lanka and update it to its modern lines, figuring out some better systems, and I might implement an airport in Sri Lanka as well. Because it's its own standalone island, it could be better than what it is. Because we kind of did this at the start of the series, or near the start of the series, and we just left it to kind of get along. I checked it out last episode, and apparently some of our public transportation lines are a little bit overloaded. So we can see what we can kind of do here. But before we do that, right, we have a lot of wood in Mumbai. Over 1,000. Might I add. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to be able to transport more goods. Each boat going back is filled to the brim. Let me check a random ship that's on the way to approach. Filled to the brim. So we need to add more ships on this line. Now, what these ships are currently doing is grabbing the wood, taking it all the way up to here, then in turn picking up the machines and bricks and bringing them back. Obviously, depending on whether there is bricks or not. So if I grab this line, if I manage the vehicles, I've got two options. I could either replace them with a higher capacity cargo ship, which, if I'm being honest with you right now, we're not going to have the ability to get a higher capacity. We could do, but these are for gas and stuff. So that is our biggest one. Or alternatively, I can duplicate them. And I'm going to duplicate all 11 and double the transportation numbers. Now, they're going to pull those ships from out over here, so that will take a while for them to cycle through and be in the system. But with the amount of wood that's ready to go, it means there's a lot of wood that can be delivered, which means that they can be constantly producing. Thus, we are making tons of cash, money, moolah. Right, we're also going to increase the size of this vehicle as well. Let me edit this. Cargo wise, we're going to add it to be a 300 capacity. La-dee-da, boys, la-dee-da. And then off it goes. Right, let's take a look at Sri Lanka then, guys, and see if those make any differences moving forward. So, before we get into it, if you are enjoying the series, smash that like button down below, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment saying what city you think I should focus on working on next. So this is not a city, this is its own country in many ways. This is Sri Lanka. And we have a few routes leading around. Some of them no longer are going to be making much sense. Now, last episode we discovered that the tram system was getting overloaded. We have since upgraded and added more trams on these lines, so now they're picking more people up than they ever did before, which is perfect. We have a couple of other lines. We've got a little bit of a food run here going back and forth, and what this does is picks up the grain, drops it to over there. Then we have a line that then delivers the food down to Trin. So, let's work backwards. Let's grab these vehicles, which they are so old, these vehicles, look at them. And we're going to replace them with big boy cargo trucks that can carry grain. Now, the ones that carry grain, they can do all cargo, but these carry 38. We'll replace them with those. So, same amount of vehicles, just vast different quantities in which they can carry. Then from over here, the same again. The Trin food, we've only got 2 vehicles on this. Now, we'll replace these. They've got to deliver food, by the way. So food can be delivered in I mean, we'll have to use one of these ones, replace them. But I'm then going to duplicate them as well. It's a longer distance that they're going to travel, so having 4 is, I think, decent enough. Right, let me just wait for autosave. Come on, autosave. Hurry up right now. Hurry up, you fool. Any moment now. Any moment now. And they're going to Trin, by the way, over here. Trimcommerly? Is that how I pronounce it? So I duplicate those. There we go. So we can see from its food demands that this is now going to increase dramatically at the same time. So that's simple systems we've done right there to increase the vehicle footpath of what we can produce, which is pretty sweet, boys. Pretty sweet. All these buildings, these used to be on the outskirts. Now they're in a city. This is absolutely wild how big this area is now grown. So we'll see what dents get caused by these new vehicles. Now, we have a wood run over here as well. And what's happening over here then? So it looks like we're picking up the wood from here and then dropping it off there, if I'm not mistaken. So the wood gets taken down here. We're going to replace these vehicles as well. And we'll replace these with these boys that carry 38. Nice little upgrade there. So the wood goes from there all the way in. And then from here, the wood then gets produced and then taken all the way back because it's then delivered. Hold on. That does the same run, doesn't it? That picks up, drops off. Oh, it does, yeah. So it picks up the wood from this forest, delivers it to there to create planks, brings the planks back to produce tools. Right, now we're getting somewhere where we've got Jaffna tools and galley tools right now. So is this still making money? It is still making money, but I'm going to replace that vehicle and update it with a more modern variation. Which will go with you. Just because of the size of the cargo, that's all I'm really going with. And then the Jaffna tools, which goes all the way back. There's 2 of them. We'll replace them with the big boy trucks. But because of the distance they have to travel, I'm going to add 4 of them. There we go. Only because of the distance they have to travel. Right. That should transform some areas now. Everything's all intertwined and connected in many ways. The trams are going round doing their job, so that's pretty good to see. And then we have this up here. So here we have brick being delivered to the construction material site there. And they're using, again, outdated vehicles. So let's quickly replace these. So they're going to go from a 28 capacity straight to a 76 plus 76. That's a lot, isn't it? That is dramatic increases right there. And then we have from this 3 routes that deliver. So we'll initially replace the vehicles. And they're going to be delivering construction material. So we'll do all cargo vehicles here. So that's done. That's going to Galley just down the road. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then we've got Jaffna going down there as well. We've got 2 vehicles now. I think we'll keep it to 2 vehicles. Grab you. And then, of course, we've got the Trin, which is 2 vehicles. Again, we'll keep it to 2 vehicles. That replaces all of you. And then I think we still have another route leading around. And I think that route is a bus route, right? Is it a bus route? Yes. Is it a bus route or is it tram? It is buses. And do they do okay? They barely make enough money anyway. So if I replace them with a cheaper variation. So we're utilizing these ones here, which are 81,000. These are cheaper, the electric e-Citaros. But they don't have the capacity. But then again, we're not moving the capacity of people. So I might as well reduce the expenses. And see how we go from there. So I think that is all my routes. The only other route coming in and out are the 2 ship lines. We've got the eastern coastal route, which goes up and down. We added a bunch of new ships to that, so it should start making us a bunch more money. And then we also have the back and forth hovercraft lines, which finances on that are really good. They're really good. They are really good. So we've pretty much got it situated to where we actually want it. So why don't we take a look now then at implementing an airport. So implementing an airport would be quite interesting. Now, we've got the most amount of space down on the southern tip area down here. I kind of want to keep it away from like Colombo and stuff like that in the bigger cities, so it doesn't hinder their growth by having big pollution numbers, even though it's kind of technically already got it. There's not really much I can kind of do about that. So I think that down here will be the best positioning for it. Now, we have the trams coming back and forth, and they go to all the cities. All I've got to do is implement an additional tram stop, and that makes life so much easier. So we'll go with a passenger airport, which is absolutely big, might I just say. So we're going to have to reclaim quite a bit of land. Changing the direction doesn't change anything, does it? No. Yeah, we have to reclaim quite a bit of land in Sri Lanka right now. So brush size up, strength up, and we want the flattening tool. So we'll flatten it to here. No, we'll flatten it to the road. That probably makes the most amount of sense. So I'm going to go across there, I'm going to go up to there, and I'm going to pull it all the way back. So I just initially need to see if this is going to be enough land. So put it on there. No, a bit more, a bit longer. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So we'll go down to here. And then we'll push this all the way up. This is a lot. Now, if I do overextend, I'll come back and trim it. We'll come back and trim it. So that there is now enough. I'm not connecting it directly to that road. We're going to create a better road connection and have a tram depot there of some sorts. But theoretically, that is enough for what I need. So let me just now fill it in real quick. Let's just get this all filled in. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. So, we are going to first and foremost upgrade the road to a better capacity. And a medium country road, is that the best way to go about it? I mean, it will speed things up slightly for them with higher speed limits. And then we're going to then pull in with our normal road. So if I come off here and then just initially bring that into there. And then we're going to run going that way, this road, and run down there, this road for now. So we'll situate the airport on this. Okay, so we'll place it just there. So I have to go back a bit further to get the double runways in, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet for a moment. We're going to then place down the... That's kind of cool, isn't it? The tram stop. So if I implemented it, and let's say I have free, make it long, electric, yes. So let's say I implemented it just there. Okay. Tools for electrifying the tram track roads. That does what it needs to do. And then let me just sort out these to be able to stop here. So it does a stop in Kingsway. So between 8 and 9. So after number 8, we add a stop in here. And then in Trin Commerly, we make it do all the platforms because the other one's going to make a stop in here as well. So grab you and manage line. So that will go from 5 to 6. So number 5, add in here. And then all the platforms. And then what I'll do as well is I'll add more trams to those lines. Just so we can then transport the bulk. There's more frequency in people coming to and from, is what I'm trying to say. Right, so let me now just push this going further back so I can implement a second runway, and then at the same time I'll then be able to trim the island. So grab you, edit, miscellaneous, bam. Wait for autosave to take a gazillion years right now to complete. It's the only downside, so when you have like a save game this big, autosave then takes a while. But I need autosave because the amount of times the game crashes on me when you get to a city this size, it's nice to have the autosave so you can pick off where you left off. Right, there we go. There we go. I've got everything all in. So all I'm now going to do is just trim the island back. So we'll first start with Smoothie. Okay. First start with some Smoothie. And then do what I can here. Smoothie. We're going to flatten again and just kind of do like not an awkward pattern, but do like a pattern of some sorts to make it look like a reclaimed island. And I'm going to bulk it out again here. And then just kind of do like a little bit of a wiggle going down. And then smoothen the rest of it. There we go, smoothing down here. When it allows me. Right. Bit awkward, but it will do the job. I think the road is actually hindering me more than anything. Because if I never had the road, I could literally then run this up like there. And it feels like a sticky out bit, like an actual reclaimed section. Which looks a lot better, doesn't it? You know, you see those airports in other countries that they're built on reclaimed land? And it just looks something like that, doesn't it? It looks kind of wild. Right. That's now all in. And now all of a sudden, right, Sri Lanka has... And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4... 4... Is 15 too many? I won't add any more trams until I start to see how much demand there is. So what that now ultimately does is it then reduces the amount of people coming by hovercraft and the coastal shipping route. That's ultimately what it does. Do I add... they're all going to use 1. I don't know how much demand there's going to be in reality. We'll see. So from there to there, another new line. If it starts to become an issue, we'll have to come back and add more passenger terminals on. Now, the last thing Calcutta needs is more airport line routes. We've got then the airport up in New Delhi, and that's where we'll keep it for now. So what I'll do is I'll put 2 planes, 2 A320s on each route. So that's 4 routes, passenger, and then we'll come back, 4 routes, 8 planes. We'll come back and then play around with it. So 48, 49, 50, 51. And then we'll see where the demand lies and then kind of change. So this is going to be like a work in progress, okay? This is going to be a work in progress. So we'll see. We will see. We'll see how it integrates nicely within this these areas. And then once we've given it a time, like a couple of years to pass by, I can then come back and check these little cities because they've plateaued for quite some time. We're getting a little bit of a growth spurt, but it'll be nice to see how much of a growth spurt we then get. I feel like Jaffna could become a big town, but it's hindered by its geography. So, not that I want to extend any more than what it currently is, but it would be nice to give them the ability to extend if they really wanted to. Come on, boy, what's with it? What's going on here? And we could, like, implement, like, you know, road connections and allow them to kind of build themselves up a bit more. I don't want to do it too much because it becomes way too big. But, you know, there's stuff like that we've got to do. Like Madurai over here. That could be a lot bigger if it had cargo connecting to it. But also, this train line stops it from building in this vicinity as well. But who knows? We'll see anyway. We'll see. There's a lot that we've got to kind of check upon right now. So, give that a minute or two just to pass by. Here's the bulk of them cargo ships that we purchased on the way down right now to completely clean out all of this wood. Which, this wood comes from these runs over here. Now, the Mumbai wood train run here, thingamajig, I'm going to get a additional train on. Looks like we're going to need it. And what about up here right now? There's a nice big chunk of wood to be picked up. I think a train has not long picked it all up, has it? I'm not too sure. Right, how is New Delhi now looking? Slowly growing a bit more. We're into the 4,100s right now. We built this coastal road here, which gives them the access to kind of continue to grow if they choose to. If they choose to, boys. But they will. They will slowly grow. We implemented this as well, this underground passage, to allow the vehicles to flow a lot better. That's worked. That's dramatically worked right now. What is the delivery statistics? Do you have a lot of cargo over here? That's just dropped off a load of plastic, right? Yeah. A lot of cargo goods here, so we're going to manage these vehicles right now. Add a fringe capacity to you. Add a fringe capacity to you. Get those numbers up, boys. And what about down in... Where's the other one we had? Over here, right? That's all okay. And this factory... It's getting its numbers. There's not really much else it can ultimately do, to be honest with you. There really isn't. There really isn't. How are these doing, by the way? There's a lot more steel. So we've kind of almost leveled out the coal to ore on some of these factories. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. And over here, we've still got lots of oil coming in. Oh, how is this train line doing, by the way? It's delivering all sorts, going back and forth, which is kind of funny. It is kind of funny. Which I suppose these trains going back sometimes might have some goods on board. So you get like a wide variation. And it's only now just started to make some sweet cash. Which is interesting, isn't it? It is all interesting at the end of the day. As long as we keep producing, that's all we really care about. So some of it feeds... Well, a bit of everything, really, doesn't it? It feeds this, which we don't really need to produce plastic. So, if anything, I should kind of maybe get rid of that, because we're not taking any plastic from here. So, you know, save all the oil for these is what we should do. But that's now delivering 400. I want to see if it picks anything up to go back. I don't think it should. I think what it might be doing That's then taking back as well. That's what it's doing. Right, manage the line. So in Maz, you don't unload. In Kundas, you don't unload. Meaning, and really you should only be loading fuel. So we've fine-tuned that to not do what it's trying to accomplish. Right, okay. That will have provided these with a lot. It will start putting fuel on the platform that could be going to these fuel factories. Very important for us. And now autosave's just kicked in. 300 and something there. All good, all good, all good. Keep it going. Right, okay. Okay. Now, do I help New Delhi grow a bit more with road layouts? I think it's just naturally growing itself, isn't it? It's still naturally growing. I mean, its target population's ridiculous. So just let it get to where it needs to get to, boys. Let it do what it's got to do. And how are them ships? They're making their way over here. We have now got an extra cargo train delivering the wood. Which, this is it here. It's coming down for the first time. Can't do nothing, and then it's got to head back. But there is ways in which I can bring additional wood in, if I really wanted to. So that's always got another trick up my sleeve, if needs be. Right, how are we doing down here, then? Planes are landing. I know they only got one to go to, but hopefully when it's all spread out, said and done, the distance between each one should be okay. Because we're now delivering more, it's going to change our shipment numbers. Can this be upgraded? Auto upgrade on. That's auto upgrading. I can already see that's auto upgrading. You on. You on. We don't use you for anything, so you're okay. On. And that will eventually cause them to, like I said, auto upgrade. On. And that's already on anyway. Nice. Right, sweet. Sweet, mate. Sweet. So we should get the industry actually now producing a lot more at the same time. Interesting. Interesting. So, after a little bit of plateauing, I don't know how recent that growth is. It might have been from when I initially did the tram boost. Galley's definitely growing. Trin. That's been gradually growing in general anyway. Jaffna. That's also had a nice little recent growth spurt too. So it's all happening for us. It is all happening for us, which is good to see. So the question would be, do I look towards setting up more wood to go to Mumbai? Because with all these extra ships, it would be a good idea. So building, cargo, 4 tracks, super long, high speed, all the jazz implemented. 2 tracks for here, but can we reach this? What would be the best way to go about adding a connection here? Something like this? So if I put that there, I wonder if the road connection is enough. So if I bought the, I'm on bendy, aren't I? Right, bring you there. Bring you going down there. So while being connected to that, that doesn't reach that, but doesn't mean it doesn't. It's not to say that it doesn't reach. Alright, bring you out. bring you in. Because what I can do on these is like you can add like the additional buildings. Or these. It's just, this is going to be trial and error. The angle's too tight. Right, I'll put that there. So that at least reaches that. But is it enough to reach this? It is. It's just this is my next issue. So if I did that to there, and then configured you to have a cargo building there. Okay, now it reaches all three. Look at that voice. I'm a genius. And then what I set up... Okay, we've got an issue somewhere. Is a back and forth. Here to here. Alright, it's got to be with one of my trains that I've done way too big. To be honest with you, I don't feel like we're going to need a back and forth route, because I feel like it's only going to be one train. But I'll set it up anyway, on the off chance. Right, let me go fix this issue. It is... these trains that I made even bigger. Right, delete you. And I'm going to do the crisscross here. Crisscross is there. That signal then needs to go. And then we implement the signal there instead. Right, there we go. Right, where was I? I was just here doing this beauty of a line. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to implement, if possible. Is it not possible? Just so I can bring the cargo train from over here. Okay, just make life a little bit easier for me. So all I've got to do is link this up under here, which should be easy to do. Run this. Am I just running straight? I pretty much am, aren't I? Right, keeping this going. And then we've got to meet this, which will be on this one. There. Yeah, we'll go with the bridge. Into there. And on the off chance I do have two trains here, I do the crisscross. I mean, that was just so simple, just to kind of add an additional industry to deliver wood to Mumbai. Because of my mass amounts of ships that I've now got. So we obviously have a line going back and forth here. Okay. And able to utilize both of them. And on this one, both of them. And another new line that goes there to here. Which can obviously utilize both of them. And then utilize all four of them platforms. Now, granted, I've got to set up signals. Which I could do auto signals, but I'm only going to have one train to begin with anyway. So it's not going to be much of signals. There we go. And then buy, and we do electric. Bam. Cargo. It's a short distance, so I do a 200 capacity. Alright, we'll do a 200 capacity because it's such a short distance. And then another electric train. Bam. cargo. Oh, hang on. I've already got the train here. Yeah, we'll do 200 capacity on this. We'll see how we get on first. It'll be a trial and error, this line. It'll be trial and error. But that's more wood than being delivered to Mumbai. It's an extra delivery coming in from a new industry. Because right now, there's no wood, as all the ships have sucked it dry. And some of them are going back empty. So, yeah, we do need to up those delivery numbers. Which then in turn up those shipment numbers as well. So it all works out in the long run. It does all work out in the long run, boys. So, are we had a train go back and forth yet? What line are you on? You're on this one. So, you've not picked up anything just yet. But give it time. Give it time. Right, I'm keep getting drawn back to New Delhi. 4,258 it's now gone to, so we are starting to see a few buildings now creeping on this back end. And we should see some dramatic changes with these transportation lines. A lot of people on this line going all the way down. Do I need more trains on this? How many people are over here in Jaipur? I'm going to add one more train to clear those passengers. It's very busy, these lines. It hooks up to a major line. That's why it's so busy. That is why it's so busy. Oh, what about that coastal run? I think, right, I'm going to do one more train on this one. Just because it increases the rate rather than the amount of passengers that we are transporting. Alright, where's my new wood run? There's the train that carries the planks. This has got 50 odd on board. That's just now pulled up. That's now turning around to actually now go and grab the planks. And that should start producing pretty good for us in the long run. Right. A few people now waiting, which is good to see. So I don't think there's any need yet for additional trams. So it was a good job I didn't add any additional on. Trin's had a nice big growth spurt. Galley is about to have a big growth spurt right now. Colombo, slightly risen. Not too shabby. Not too shabby right now. And of course, Jaffna, nice little growth spurt there. So we've really affected the island of Sri Lanka, boys. And really increased those numbers. Nice. How's Ramnad anyway? They're steadily growing still. So a lot of these places just steadily grow because our private and public transportation numbers just increase. The more cities you get connected to it, the more people you transport. Right, put this line here. Let's replace these. So we're utilizing these ones, which carry 45. Now these are more modern and more new. And carry less. But I'm going to add 2 more to the line. That's what we'll do, boys. Remember in all these were like individual small like towns and cities with massive green grasses around them. Now they all almost look like they're merged as one. Wow, Bangalore's growing still? Holy moly, Bangalore. Where are you going? That's having a big growth spurt right now. It's all like a knock-on effect of all the changes that we did. How is the public transportation? How is this line in general? Doesn't really make that much cash. It actually loses money, which is quite funny. It is quite funny. But yeah, it's just crazy. What are the biggest cities now currently in the game? So via city size, it's New Delhi, then Puducherry, which is literally just down here. It is a big city. Then Mumbai, Bangalore, Calcutta. Wow, okay, Dhaka's an interesting one because we only have a train station to Dhaka there and a small cargo route. But in doing so, I think it's got such a huge target population. That's a heavily underutilized city there, isn't it? That we haven't really done much with. Just saw bricks. Yeah, he does get his deliveries. Gotta give it some time. I mean, these trains look really, really old. But then again, there's not that many people to pick up. In the reality of it. Wild, isn't it? This is actually wild, how crazy this is now looking and how it's become. But I'm more interested to see how much Sri Lanka is going to grow. That's what I'm really, really excited about. We got a lot of food over here now on these lines. Oh, we still got the old vehicles on. Let's replace these. Oh, that one's replaced. Goa. Replace you. So rather than additional vehicles, we're just increasing the size of them. Replace them with these ones, so it just carries more goods. Replace you. And then, of course, Anatapur. We'll replace you. Now, it does help having additional buildings attached to them. Because that means we can then store more goods here in general before the numbers go blue. So that really helps us out. And that way then trucks can carry more. And then this might start leveling up a bit more as well. Right, how is this train doing going back and forth here? They're all leveled up, aren't they? Yeah. Yep. So there is a limit to what we can do with that one. There is a limit. Right. Is this the first delivery coming in, or is it... Oh, no, it's had a delivery in the past. But those shipment numbers should slowly start increasing. So it's about to drop off. Nice 1 million in the bank, boys. But it's got a long way to go anyway. We are producing planks. This has not delivered any planks whatsoever. And I think it now... That's not the line. Is that it? That's the train there waiting to now go back and collect. So we'll start getting some additional planks coming in. Now, do these need to be... Oh, these on auto upgrade? Just making sure that they're all on auto upgrade, which they are. Not too shabby. Right, I'm still drawn back to New Delhi. Oh my goodness me. This is gonna grow big. How is it over here anyway? Okay with the fuel? Yes. It's just a case of give it time, boys. It's a massive city, it really is. Guys, we're going to end it here right now. We've done some interesting approaches and changes that hopefully we're going to see huge effects on. Especially down in the Sri Lanka area and how this is now going to grow. So I'm very excited, boys. I'm very, very excited. We'll give it a bit of time before we see planes all arriving back and truly the money then being made. But if you have enjoyed this episode and you are enjoying this series so far, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. Until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.